time, it was impossible to have any type of genuine or real feelings. I was on stage. I was in performance mode. I was trying to think about the words for the next song. Honestly, so I was just trying to make sure he didn't say it at a time where it was my verse and I messed up a line.
Moving parts with me and Wayne, and it's important to me that I fix that.
Looks like Lil Wayne's finally had enough of the fake love and silent shade. After Birdman went ballistic on Turk during that Cash Money versus No Limit for Zoos, fans wasted no time connecting the dots, and Wayne's silence said everything. You could feel the tension in the air. This wasn't just rap drama anymore. This was personal. Family ties turned toxic right in front of the world. See, these dudes weren't just label mates. They were family. The Hot Boys came from nothing together, hustling side by side through the struggle, the fame, and the chaos. Wayne once called Birdman his father, standing by him through every scandal, every lawsuit, every messy dollar sign thrown in the mix. But this time, that silence hit like a storm. It's like Wayne finally realized that in Birdman's world, loyalty's a one-way street. And let's be real, it's not hard to see why. Between the shady business deals, unpaid royalties, and years of public tension.
I met Turk, shout out to Turk, you little you ain't here, but you. We gon' you and we won't you. You heard me?
Birdman's record with his own people speaks for itself. He didn't just cause drama. He might have destroyed the same legacy that made Cash Money a movement. Fans who grew up blasting bling bling and back that ass up are now watching that once golden empire crumble piece by piece. It's heartbreaking and scandalous. Then came ComplexCon, October 25th, 2025, the night everything exploded. Everyone expected a nostalgic celebration, maybe even a reunion moment. But Birdman had other plans. He grabbed the mic mid-show, looked dead into the crowd and snapped, "Shout out to Turk, you a little book. You ain't here, we gonna F with you when we wanna fuck with you." The crowd went silent. For a second, you could have heard a heart drop. Then chaos hit like wildfire. Social media lit up with hashtags, memes, and theories. People couldn't believe what they just heard.
Boys was you, Dooney, Sterling, and Mosquito.
Well, it was more than that, but everybody started going to jail, started hanging out.
By midnight, Turk had seen enough. He hopped on Instagram Live. No fancy setup, no filters, just raw emotion. His voice was calm, but his face said it all. He was done being quiet. You could see the pain, the betrayal, the years of holding back finally pouring out. Turk didn't sugarcoat a single word. He spoke straight from the chest, saying what fans had whispered for years. Birdman's so-called family loyalty, fake from the start. And now, the cracks in Cash Money's legacy are showing for the whole world to see. Years of buried betrayal. This wasn't some petty rap feud. This was about cold, hard cash, loyalty gone missing, and promises that were never kept. Fans instantly started piecing it together like detectives online. If Turk's still out here demanding what he's owed after decades, then what does that say about how Birdman's been handling business all along?
Well, the Hot Boys, the actual street crew.
Okay.
What year did that come together?
1994, we all started hanging together, but we knew each other from, me and Mosquito, we kind of grew up together.
And the Hot Boys was you, Dooney, Sterling, and Mosquito.
Well, it was more than that, but everybody started going to jail, started hanging out.
The internet lit up with theories. Maybe every artist under that label got played the same way. And while all that noise flooded the timeline, Wayne's silence was deafening. He didn't tweet, post, or blink.
I understand our language, you feel me? But I got to say this for me. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Y'all know y'all can't with me when y'all wanna with me. And I just wanna leave it at that, man. Like we gotta stop sending out these mixed messages to people, cause y'all, don't do that. You know what I'm talking about? Respectfully.
Like maybe Wayne's been biting his tongue for years, stacking frustrations behind that cool smile. His loyalty kept him quiet before. But now, that quiet feels like distance. And it's louder than any diss track he's ever dropped.
How you, man?
What's up, Moolah?
I'm booling. How you, good?
You already know.
Yeah, man. How Lil B? How Bria?
Man, fine, good, man. Graduating from college, man.
That's what I know, man.
Got his own little spot, you heard me?
Man, what, man?
We'll graduate next year, bro. You hear me? You know
Man.
that.
To really understand why Turk's words cut so deep, you gotta rewind to the roots. Before Cash Money became a global powerhouse, before platinum chains and Bentleys. Back to the late 80s, deep in the Magnolia projects of New Orleans. That's where the real Hot Boy's name was born. It wasn't cooked up in a studio or by some marketing team. It came straight from the streets. The original Hot Boys, Sterling, Donnie, Mosquito, and Terrence Gangsta Williams, Birdman's own brother, weren't rappers chasing fame. They were street legends. Their names carried weight. When the Hot Boys showed up, everyone knew what time it was. Respect or get out the way.
Besides that, you got the Wayne, Drake, Nicki, the Hot Boys. Before that, the Ross, Cali, all them niggas come from under my umbrella. Every last one of them niggas. Ain't too many niggas ain't been up under my umbrella. If they say it or don't say it, all them niggas come from.
But like most street stories, that legacy turned dark real fast. One by one, the crew started falling.
Honestly say, I gave Wayne about $400 to $500 million. Drake got about $500 million, and Nicki got about $300-400 million out my pocket. No.
Some gone for good, others buried behind prison walls. The streets took everything except the myth they left behind.
But it's all love though. We ain't doing no tripping over here. Big YNT, man. You know, YNT. That's what's going on over here.
And that's when Birdman stepped in. Not to honor them, but to capitalize. He saw the legend, the danger, the power behind that name, and flipped it into gold. He took the rawness of the streets and turned it into a record label empire. Cash Money didn't just build off talent, it built off the ghosts of the real Hot Boys. And now, all these years later, Turk's demand for his percentage feels like justice calling back from the past. When Birdman launched the rap group Hot Boys, it wasn't some random stroke of genius, it was a calculated power move. He took the pain, the street respect, and the danger his brother's name carried and flipped it into a money-making empire. But turning real-life struggle into business always hurts.
The Hot Boy there was one of the first ones in the city that had a little backpack with the money and all that in the city. But yeah, his best friend killed him.
Fucked up in a bad situation, but I will be out of the zone and I do it for y'all.
What started out as a tribute soon became a burden that followed everyone involved like a ghost from the past.
Fuck Cash Money.
By the mid-1990s, Birdman and his brother Slim had turned Cash Money from a local hustle into a full-fledged empire. But they needed faces, a crew that embodied New Orleans, raw, loud, and fearless. That's when they brought in the next generation, Lil Wayne, Juvenile, Turk, and BG, the new age Hot Boys. They were the voice of the streets, young, wild, and dripping with hunger. The city finally had a group that looked and sounded like them, and the rest of the world couldn't take its eyes off. Birdman saw it before anyone else. Dollar signs flashing in neon. He turned the Hot Boys into a full-blown brand before they even dropped their first hit. He had them decked out in ice, driving whips most rappers could only dream of, and preaching loyalty to Baby like it was law. The image was tight, brotherhood, luxury, and loyalty, and it sold like crazy. Their albums, Get It How You Live. And guerrilla warfare didn't just chart. They changed the whole sound of Southern hip-hop. Overnight, they went from neighborhood kids to national icons. But that loyalty came with strings attached. Birdman didn't just want success, he wanted control. He handled every deal, every contract, every royalty check. Nothing moved without going through him. He wasn't just the CEO, he was the puppet master. And because he played the father figure so smooth, no one noticed how tight his grip really was. Baby got us, they said. He's family. But family doesn't mean much when the money don't match. As fame grew, so did the whispers. Checks started looking suspicious. Numbers weren't lining up, and people began to realize something was off. Juvenile was the first to bounce, calling out the shady accounting. Then BG followed suit, blasting Birdman for stealing from his own people. Turk ended up behind bars, and when he got out, all those promises about money waiting for him disappeared like smoke. He was broke, bitter, and done playing nice. And through it all, Wayne stayed put, at least publicly. He still called Birdman Pops, showed him love on camera, and smiled like nothing was wrong. But behind the scenes, Wayne was watching everything. He saw how everyone who spoke up suddenly went silent. how careers froze the second they questioned Baby. The man he once saw as a father was turning into something darker, a gatekeeper who decided who could shine and who got shut out. That's when the tension started to simmer. Wayne might have been the last soldier standing, but deep down, he knew it was only a matter of time before that loyalty got tested. Because in Birdman's world, love and business never mixed, and when the money talks, family always walks. By 2015, Lil Wayne had finally hit his limit. Years of loyalty, years of silence, and years of trusting a man who kept playing him behind closed doors. Enough was enough. He dropped the hammer and filed that now infamous $51 million lawsuit against Birdman and Cash Money Records, and that's when all the fake smiles disappeared. Wayne claimed Birdman still owed him an $8 million advance, plus another $2 million once Thought Carter 5 was wrapped up. But here's the real kicker. Wayne also accused Birdman of holding back profits from Young Money Entertainment, the very label Wayne built with his own two hands. Birdman was cashing in big while Wayne kept the lights on. Total betrayal. And Birdman, he did what Birdman always does: deny, deflect, and double down. He went on camera saying he never held Wayne's music hostage, trying to spin the story like it was all business misunderstanding. But behind the scenes, Wayne was heated. The Carter 5, the album fans had been waiting on for years, was stuck in limbo because of those shady money games. The world was ready, the music was done, but Birdman had that power switch and refused to flip it. Fans were angry, calling Birdman every name in the book, while Wayne looked trapped inside his own legacy, a king with no kingdom. Fast forward to 2018, and the war finally hit a truce, or at least that's what they wanted people to believe. Wayne reached a settlement reportedly worth over $10 million, and fans thought the nightmare was over. But Birdman couldn't just leave it alone. He hopped online bragging that he gave Wayne $400 to $500 million, acting like he'd been Santa Claus the whole time. The internet ate him alive. Nobody bought that story, not one person. The memes came flying. People joked that Birdman must have been counting imaginary millions, and even longtime fans rolled their eyes. Later, the two hugged it out in public, pretending to squash the beef. But everyone could see the tension hiding behind those fake smiles. That peace moment? Straight up performance. To be fair, Birdman has spent years trying to defend his image, but every time he speaks, it just digs him deeper. He swears everyone got paid, keeps saying people don't understand how business works, and claims he's given Wayne hundreds of millions through Universal's distribution deals. But every time he opens his mouth, the numbers don't add up. Receipts go missing, timelines don't match, and fans stay side-eyeing him like, show the proof then. What makes it worse? Birdman never stopped flexing. Even with all that drama, he stayed online showing off private jets, iced out watches, designer fits, and million-dollar cars. Meanwhile, most of the artists who helped him build Cash Money from the ground up were still out here hustling, trying to rebuild from the damage. It's wild. The man who preaches loyalty keeps shining while his family gets left behind. That's the part that hits hardest. The empire Wayne helped build turned into the same cage that tried to hold him down. Birdman built his whole image on loyalty, family, and brotherhood. But once the money started talking, that family vanished into thin air. The people who once called him Big Bro got left behind while he kept living like a king. And just when it seemed like the noise around him was finally dying down, boom, another bombshell hit in 2022. Out of nowhere, Gangsta Williams, Birdman's older brother and one of the original Hot Boys, got released from prison after serving over 23 years. The news shocked everybody, even Birdman himself. Fans went crazy, wondering what he'd say after all that time behind bars. And when Gangsta started doing interviews, he didn't hold back one bit. He started talking about the real Hot Boys, the street legends, and how Cash Money truly came to be. What he said basically confirmed what fans had been whispering for years. Birdman didn't just build his empire from hustle and grind. He built it on the name, legacy, and reputation of the original Hot Boys. And when people asked Birdman how he felt about his brother finally coming home, he played it off like Gangsta didn't even exist. No shout out, no love, nothing. That silence said everything. It proved that in Birdman's world, loyalty only moves one way, his way. The same brotherhood that once meant survival now feels like a memory buried under fame and pride. Almost 30 years later, the legacy of the Hot Boys still hangs in limbo. BG's out of prison trying to rebuild, Juvenile's still rocking shows solo, and Turk's been calling out Birdman in interviews for years, airing out what really went down. Meanwhile, Wayne's sitting at the top, too powerful and too guarded to ever look back. The fans keep begging for a reunion, dreaming of that old magic. But deep down, everyone knows the truth. Those wounds might never heal. Birdman might have created the brand, but he shattered the bond. The Hot Boys weren't just a rap group. They were a movement. They represented loyalty, pain, and survival from the heart of New Orleans. But when money, pride, and power stepped in, everything fell apart. What was once a brotherhood turned into a battlefield. And now that Birdman's back online throwing shade again, it's clear this story is far from over. Every time Wayne stays quiet, every time Turk speaks up, and every time Birdman flashes his wealth, we're reminded, behind the fame, the cars, and the hits, there was a family that never healed. So here's the real question. If Birdman still owes them millions, what else does he owe them that money can't buy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Because this story's still unfolding, and you'll want to be here for the next one.